I think I'm good now. Maybe. All right. Man, it is super hard for me to talk this morning. Like, I'm just so freaking stuffy. It has not, it's only gotten worse. Anyways, yeah, crazy morning. Now, I was bearish, but now I may be starting to lean bullish. We do have a descending broadening wedge on NQ, and this looks like good to break to the upside. However, we do have a very good pivot right here, but this is, yep, this is looking very bullish. So I'm probably going to hop into longs. Not even probably, I'm going to hop into longs here because I am, yeah, I'm triggered in. ES is stronger than the NASDAQ. I got to wait for the last 10 seconds, but today is an absolute a fundamental roller coaster with the whole ICBM stuff. Russian officials are saying it's not ICBMs. Ukraine's saying it is. And if it is ICBMs, it is a major, 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 major war escalation. And that's why the market, I guess that's why the market dumped on open. I didn't think the ICBM news was going to be that impactful because I saw it well before market opened, like 30 minutes before market opened. The market was still going up. But it looks like the panic selling didn't really start until market opened. So that's interesting. But be careful on your trades. Um, it's a very, very, very volatile morning. And yeah, it is an extremely, extremely volatile morning. If this red candle, uh, if this red candle invalidates, I'll hop in. It looks like it's invalidating. Yeah, maybe. Yes, it is. I did take my long entry. We'll see what happens. ES has been stronger than NQ. These last two candles were stronger on the Nasdaq. Boy, PT's all the way up here, so we'll see. The PTs are so far away. Drop your size, do whatever. Um, Probably gonna want to drop your size just because of how far away these PTs are. Give me a minute while I document this. All right, we'll see. Looks like it's stuttering a little bit. It may pull back and sweep my stop. It could put in an inverse head and shoulders. It's 100% possible. I don't know the likelihood of it though, because I mean we ran up pretty hard on ES. It looks like it may want to do it. It's hard. It's pretty hard to tell. This market is very hard to tell because it's so fundamentally driven today. And until we know the true story, I guess we're waiting on a statement from the Pentagon. Um, but until we know the full story, the market may kind of be stuck. It's a really weird spot to be trading. I did send out one more TA alert today, which was this short, which was beautiful. I am very upset I literally couldn't take this trade. I closed out my options portfolio. I didn't have my futures broker even open yet. Like, I could not get in this trade. So hopefully you guys took shorts here. Because that was a very, very nice trade. Looks like NQ longs may end up being a little bit better. It invalidated more of the red candle. And depending on how we go up, I may move my PT further away. If it starts exploding up with momentum, I'm gonna move my PT to this top pivot, because really the first big NQ pivot is this, and that's pretty dang far away. You could count this as one, but I don't think it's likely to sweep that one then reject. It's either going to stop me out or I go all the way up, is what I'm thinking. But type in chat, how do you guys end up doing this morning? This drop, the drop out of open was, I think, the hardest drop I've seen all year. Like, that was absolutely something else. Like, I've seen plenty of hard drops out of open, but the pre-market was already kind of indicating bearish. The pre-market was not indicating bearish at all. Like, I was bullish this morning. It was the first time in a while my pre-market analysis was wrong, but no, we wiped out, what was that? 243. We wiped out 5 hours of steep pre-market growth in a matter of 8 candles. 5 hours of growth, and it wasn't small growth. This was a really strong and large uptrend. 5 hours of strong uptrend wiped out by 8 candles. Like, that was absolutely insane. And look at, when was the last time you guys saw volume that looks like this? I can't really. You guys can kind of see it on my chart. Look at the increasing volume after open. Like, usually opening is by far the biggest volume. That wasn't at all the case. Like, that was not at all the case. And the volume continuously exceeded the opening volume for like a lot. Very, very, very high volume. And notice, remember when we talked about volume spikes, the highest volume of the day, where was that at on ES and NQ? Then what happened afterwards? It reversed afterwards. So yeah, I have not seen a day like today volume-wise in a very long time, especially on NQ. Crazy. May move my PT to the further one, folks. If this candle holds without a selling wick, I'm getting ready to delete my order and move it to the top. Move it to the top one. You don't have to if you don't want to. I may be cursed because every time I've called out, hey, you can move your PT to the further one, every single time over the last 3 weeks it's hit. It would make sense if this is the first time it doesn't happen. So I guess we'll just kind of see. But as I said, these are massive channels, massive channel breakouts. Yeah, I removed it. I'm going for the further PT. You don't have to. You really don't have to at all. Like, the PT's already so far away. But the candles, man. And here's the width of these. So NQ has a narrower channel, which would put the PT up here. Interesting how that like perfectly aligns with this pivot. Give me 1 second. I need to document that I just did that. Okay. And then this ES channel is freaking massive. Like, you could take it from here, I guess. Look at that. I told you guys, that's why I hopped into calls right here. I hopped into calls right here. Thank the Lord I stopped out. But that's why I hopped into calls right here, and I said I think I figured out what's going on. Watch for this entire drop to invalidate. Because this first PT just hit. If you guys took it, that is awesome. That is a huge win. Maybe I get unlucky as hell. That would really suck. Let's hope that's not the case. But I'm going for the second PT. Good Lord, it's so strong. Um, Anyways, that's why I said I think this entire drop is going to invalidate because when the Western official told routers or routers, however you pronounce it, that there weren't ICBMs, they were just normal ballistic missiles, we rallied out of demand. So I'm like, oh shit, it's fake. We're going to go right back up because the entire hypothesis, the reason why this dropped was because of ICBMs, I guess. And if that's invalidated, price action is going to invalidate the drop. It's no longer valid. But then it's like, oh wait, which one do we believe? Do we believe Ukraine? Do we believe Russia? What actually happened? And there you go, furthest PT hit, and that's my furthest PT I've ever called out to you guys. Good grief. 67 ticks. That's what it feels like to be like Guru, huh? Can you guys believe that's his real name? How legendary is that? Is he in here? Hang on. Is Guru in here? No, he's not. Do you guys know Guru is Guru's real name? Like, that's not. I thought it was just his name on Discord because, like, he's good at trading and whatnot. Forgot to share your screen. Oh, well, that sucks for you guys. Hopefully, you guys watch the YouTube stream. There you go. There was the trade. Glorious. I mean, you guys should have listened to my voice and did it, but looks like the YouTube people got spoiled. Yeah, you guys need an alert button. Yeah, it's not going to work. My trade's skyrocketing. I'm not looking at Discord. I'm looking at my other screens. Hopefully you guys caught it though, regardless. I told you guys I was bullish, told you guys. I mean, there's only 2 PTs possible on ES. You guys know where they are in the Discord. Just these 2 pivots. So it was this first one. Moved to the second one. I'm still bullish for NQ to get to this second one. Jeez, what a freaking trade. What should I make on that trade? That was full size 2 minis too. Still trading evals though at the moment. Because their deal is back. Yeah. $1,700 trade. Love to see it. Well, $1,700 times 5. So whatever the math on that is, but I don't really care to do that math. What? $8,000 trade? Something like that. And you know what? I love that hesitation after hitting my PT. NQ is still stronger than ES. I'm bullish for NQ to get to here. If it dipped, that would be awesome because I'd hop back into longs. But and guys, the Mark Douglas version 2 notes are finally complete. I didn't just add the timestamps for every single bullet point, minus maybe one. I think there's one I didn't get a time for. I don't know. But there's a lot. They're longer notes now. They were about a 20-minute read. I want to say they're maybe 25 minutes now. I want to say the notes are about 20% larger. NQ almost at its PT. There it goes. And like I said, my pre-market analysis is I'm bullish for this level to hit. 20,929. Now that is 200 points away. However, if the ICBM stuff is fake, it's going to go right back up. So still keep that in mind. My pre-market analysis may still be alive. Are you ever concerned about the 30% rule? No, I'm not. Noon attack? No, I'm not. I've only been hit by 30% like twice this year. I'm not concerned about it. But keep in mind, I'm trading full size on just 5 evaluations right now because the Apex $85 PAs are back. And as you guys know, or you mentorship people know, I left a damn order open last Monday and 10 of my PAs that were up like 55 grand, I was getting ready to a quest, blew up because of my incompetence to. It's the first day of YouTube that I started. I guess me trading longer, I stopped I got out of my habit of clicking exit or market close and cancel all button after every single trade, and it bit me in the ass. So, womp womp. It happens. So, if we consolidate, I'm bullish for NQ to get to here. This next pivot looks like it's stronger than ES. Let's check the YouTube chat. Hopefully you guys caught this trade. Also, the first drop made up for on the second. Okay. Can you share your screen on Discord? Yeah, I just shared it on Discord. Yeah. Reuters. Thank you, Riz. Appreciate that. $800 profit now. Wow, nice job, Galaxy. Glad you got that trade, dude. Yeah, that was a really big trade. Very big trade. Imagine if I were trading futures this morning, though. Because when I stopped out of my calls that I wanted to average down on, but I'm like, holy shit, these candles are not. This is news. Something's going on here. So I stopped out of my freaking calls for a 45% loss, but I was half size, so the loss wasn't actually big. It was normal size loss. But man, this drop, $3,000 per mini if you had a late entry. From the top over here, $5,000 per mini, $5,500. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I am considering re-entering longs up here. We will see. Here's the problem, guys. I just started these evals today, and I accidentally took a first trade, which dropped at 700 bucks. But anyways, these accounts are about 1,500. Here's the problem, though. The trailing drawdown is 2,500, and with how big these trades are today, I'm 2 red trades away from blowing them. That's just kind of the reality at the moment. So I'll try to be selective. What a beautiful trade. Just all of a sudden just rocketed. That was awesome. So NQ's kind of chopping up right now. I mean, you could force an entry here if it validates the red. It would be valid. But I'm hoping that it can dip and then do something like that. I'm not really in a rush. Like I cleared my profit goal today in that single trade. So, just keep in mind, my average green trade on ES is roughly 20 ticks. So that trade was like 3 green trades for me on average. So I'm not super inclined to continue. But NQ longs, I'm bullish to this high, especially with them being stronger. And we haven't validated a majority of this drop now, so I am bullish to new high of day on ES. Believe it or not, I am. Apex does have a sale. Yeah, hang on. Hang on, let me pretend to be Joey and Lone real quick. 1 second. There we go. I just sent it in the chat. Who's Joey? Joey Sama. All right, so Apex is having a sale, 80% off evals, but the PAs for the lifetime is only $85 in comparison to $150. It is my favorite sale. If you're good at passing evals, it's the sale that's going to save you the most money and over the 90% off evaluations. If you're good at passing evaluations, that's a sale to do it. For those of you that are new to Apex, the 50K accounts are what I love, and do it. Click that link, go to 50K accounts and do it. So they are having that sale, which is really good. It's going on for 5 more days, so I think I'm gonna post it on my channel tomorrow. And I was gonna schedule a masterclass, but because it's been months since I've done one, but I really don't want to do one right now. So I think I'm gonna maybe start advertising for one, or just saying that I'm gonna do one next week, and I'll do it the week after, the weekend after Thanksgiving. Let me turn off streamer mode. Iceland said that one trade made back my Monday and Tuesday red days. That casino being profitable in the long run is so true, Bryce. Thank you. That is awesome, man. If you guys are happy with your gains, don't continue trading. If you're not willing and able to give back everything that you've made from that one trade, don't continue trading. You're done. I'm just going to be real with you guys. Be honest with yourself and ask yourself, okay, if I took a trade and it was red, it was a good trade, and I accepted my loss, and I took one more trade and it was red as well, and I flipped back to red on the day, would I become emotional? Would I not be able to accept it? What would happen? And I am very much so liking NQ longs on this candle. I gotta wait for the candle to close, but I'm pretty much triggered in, guys. NQ stronger than ES, and ES is invalidating a majority of that drop. It is kind of risky, but I'm operating on a pretty close stop loss. Wait, hang on. It's getting a selling wick. Hang on. It's trying to hornswoggle me. That's why we wait for the last 10 seconds. That's an ugly selling wick. ES and NQ made higher highs and got the selling wick. Okay, say the selling wick invalidates. Where will that put this trade? Still a big freaking trade, guy. Look how big the trades are, guys. This is like what? 2 green candles away? Like 2 large green candles and it's at PT. And 141 points away. $800 per mini. Crazy. If this candle closes while invalidating the selling wick, I may take the trade. I don't like these higher lows, though. It looks like it needs a sweep. So, and it doesn't look like this candle's bullish enough. There is a good chance that I miss out on this long because if it does end up kind of continuing up without sweeping lower lows, I may not have the ability to pull the trigger on it. But I am bullish for NQ to get up here. And it's been stronger than ES, which I like. At least you blew. Mistake. I blew him by holding losers. Dude, Sonny, I've blown plenty by holding losers, dude. I've been through the ringer. I've put myself through the ringer. It's a common thing, very common thing. But you need to master psychology. So, guys, by the way, with the Mark Douglas videos and the psych videos that I'm gonna post to my YouTube channel, I found out I just realized that all the videos are watermarked, so I got to edit out the watermark and maybe put my own or something, so I can get those posted. So there's gonna be a slight delay for that. But type in chat, has anyone in here actually read through the notes? I would assume not because they were posted like right before market open, but just by chance, has anyone read through them already? How do you plan to remove the watermark? Either by finding a version that doesn't have it or editing it out. Somehow, some way. All right, Sua, nice. Sua said, I locked myself out, so only one trade. Only one trade left and not willing to give anything back. There you go. No, that's the wrong. It's the, oh, wait, never mind, yeah. Top Steps trailing is not a live trailing. No, it is not. It's a daily trailing drawdown. Should have done the psych reset. Write it in your notes, dude. Write it in your notes, in your journal. Chimkin, are you taking your journaling seriously, yay or nay? All right, if this comes back up to here, I'll be in, guys. I'll give it a chance. It's gonna have a crazy risk to award. Not too crazy, actually. Yeah, okay, you've been perfect. Journal everything that you did and journal what you wish you did. Get as much value out of this terrible red day as you can, dude. As much as you can. Today's an easy day to blow in those futures accounts. If you're trading full size because for some reason you decided not to measure out your trades today, you didn't realize that your average stop loss is going to be triple or quadruple what it is and super easy, you know. 2 red trades away from blowing your account today and you don't even realize it. Or you take one huge red trade, all of a sudden your profits are cut in half and then you go in mind freeze because you didn't expect it and you can't process it because it was so unexpected that you lost that much, and then you do the rest of the damage yourself. So Suicide went through the Steam Bargain notes yesterday for the second time. They are amazing. Awesome. Yeah, I love going through those notes while watching the Steam Bargain course. The Mark Douglas notes don't have like the headings and the categories like the Steambarger does notes do, because it would just be way too long, right? I think it's being split up into parts is plenty good enough. But yeah, you guys got to read those Mark Douglas notes and let me know what you think. I did add the you know that one of my favorite parts of the Mark Douglas notes where he explains why it is that fear acts on our perception of information in a way that we create the very experience you're trying to avoid. Why and how that happens. I added that entire example to part 5 of 7 of the notes. And I added a few other bullet points in each of the categories. Like category 3 is fairly large now, and it was really small before. Um, but that was the biggest addition, that entire example. That needed to be in there from the beginning. When the first time I went around, I didn't really know how to add it, but I decided to add it this time. Okay, so I can't tell if NQ is actually flipping weaker or not. It looks like it may be. Looks like it is flipping weaker. Man, that's not a very good PT. I would rather just take the NASDAQ because I have this PT on the NASDAQ. I don't have one on ES. I have the 78.6, which is too close. How much did ES retrace, though, in comparison to NQ? Okay, so ES held the 23.6% fib, which means it has held the strong uptrend. Same thing with NQ. They both pulled back 23.6%. So they are still in a very strong uptrend, which makes it pretty likely that it's bullish consolidation. What I'm seeing right now is it's looking like ES is stronger. The problem is if I enter a continuation trade on ES, I'm kind of breaking my pivot rule. Oh, that's a nice candle, though. If this selling wick goes away, I think I'm just going to enter, guys. I got to wait for the last 10 seconds. But I'm pretty much triggered in at the moment. I'll give it a shot. Oh, wait, hang on, it's getting a selling wick. Maybe not. Here comes the last 10 seconds. That selling wick disappears, I'll enter. Otherwise, I'm going to hold off. And if the next candle, in the beginning, the candle invalidates the selling wick, I'll take an early entry on that candle. It's looking like ES is going to be my choice. It's trying to invalidate that selling wick, which is a decent sign. I tried taking it, but I didn't fill. Damn it. My order got left behind right here. I did fill it just a tiny bit higher. All right, I'll give it a chance, see what happens. It is in the last 10 seconds now, so it is a fine fill. I'm going to roll with a very tight stop loss. Like, I'm 2 red candles away from stopping out. The PT, however, is this NQ level up here, so I don't know when I'm going to sell this trade. I'm just going to have to wait and see. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if NQ does end up flipping stronger than ES, but like I can't not enter ES right now. It is clearly stronger than the NASDAQ. It's invalidated the entire drop. And that is a perfect double top on ES right there. And again, do not take this trade if you guys are not willing to give back your gains. If you ask yourself, hey, what happens if my next 2 trades are red and I end up losing my gains from that last big trade? Will my psychology go to hell and will I break all my rules? If the answer is yes, don't take the trade. Lock it out. Don't do it. Non-financial advice, of course. You guys can do whatever the hell you want. Yeah, I mean, I entered during bullish consolidation. We'll see. I'll be surprised if it gets another oscillation. It totally could, though. I think another oscillation would be pretty dang bullish. I think best case scenario, the thing that'll give NQ the highest chance of getting all the way up is if it does something like this. Puts in like a baby inverse head and shoulders right here, and then breaks to the upside. That would be pretty decent. Yeah, technically the biggest ESPT is all the way up here. And this is how big our last trade is by the way, guys. Which to match last trade, I have to put my PT one tick above high of day, which is crazy. NQ is getting that pullback. This candle opened bearish though. It's not looking like a bullish pullback. We'll see if this candle holds a buying wick, then maybe, but at the moment it's not. Maybe. No, it's 50-50 at the moment. The way this candle opened was pretty bearish. It looked like it wanted a lower low, which would stop me out of this trade. It looks like it is failing, so it looks like it failed the inverse head and shoulders, and NQ is going to go for the lower low. If it comes back up, I'll give it one more chance. But, you know, if I stop out of this trade and it continues down, I don't really have an area that I can take shorts. It'd have to be bearish consolidation somewhere down here. That is a bearish candle open and a bearish candle. Yeah, this should get a lower low on the NASDAQ. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. So it's not a bearish candle anymore. But the fact that this red one does not have a buying wick still tells me NQ is going to try to go for a lower low. I hope I'm surprised, though. I hope I am. Right, here it is going for the lower low. It doesn't have, because it got this green candle, it doesn't have to get down to this low. I still think it's pretty likely. Yeah, this candle's trying to open bearish. I think it's going to do it. Doesn't have to, though, just because the last green candle is big, but it's probably going to. It also looks like ES is starting to flip weaker than NQ. The hope of this stop loss is that ES also continues down to this low. If it just sweeps my stop loss and bounces up, that's going to be really shitty because I'm going to be triggered back in. But I'm hoping that when it hits my stop loss, 98% chance it's going to, that it continues down to this low right here. Yeah, NQ is stronger than ES now. Starting to get concerned that ES is not going to hit that low. The way NQ's chopping down right now signals buyers are really starting to step in. Looks like NQ's a lot stronger than ES now. Let's see if this candle holds. Oh, that's a bullpen if I've ever seen one on the Nasdaq. It looks like it is a little bit stronger than ES now. If you guys were feeling anxiety while it's getting close to your stop loss, stop out of the trade right now, near break even. You should not be trading. You should have no care in the world if this trade hits stop loss or PT. Does not matter. The only thing that matters to you is the bottom line after your series of 20 trades, or the bottom line after the week is over. We fake a breakout here and go back down. Watch for double fake prophecy. It's happened like every time. It happened the most recent time, and that time was actually against me, caused me to stop out of my trade. The time before that, I think it was last Friday. It's a final trade, and it ended up making me a bunch of money. So watch. If this goes up, then comes back down, watch for it to do that. Yeah, NQ's a good amount stronger than ES. That's unfortunate that I'm in this one. Well, I don't think it would matter, though, because I for sure would have stopped out of NQ if I was in. Because if I entered NQ roughly here, yeah, my stop out, it would have swept my stop. 110% would have. I would have put my stop loss a bit further away from this low, so it would have stopped me out. So I don't really care. Put my PT at the 1-to-1 risk to award. There's the 1-to-1 risk to award. Now remember, the PT for me is this NQ right here. Now ES is a perfect double top right here, so this is going to be big resistance. I don't know if we're just going to be able to break over. It might sweep and go back down. Yeah, NQ is a lot stronger than ES now. But like I said, it doesn't matter. If I was in NQ, I would have stopped out here. So I'm glad I'm not. Because I probably would have had to hop back. Right, I would have had to hop right back in here, which would have really sucked. I'd rather take one loss than two. But we'll see. As long as ES is above the 1-to-1 risk to award and NQ hits this PT, I'm closing. Move my stop loss up 2 ticks. I just made a rookie mistake. I just looked at my chart and realized there was no stop loss on my chart. How the hell did that happen? I mean, I wouldn't have stopped out anyways, but did it get canceled? I just put it back up on my chart, but that's not good. All right, so NQ just made the higher high. This is going to be telltale right here. It has a decent chance of sweeping this high and going back down. You do not want that. You want the selling wick to invalidate. And ES is not at the 1-to-1 risk to award at the moment, so I cannot sell no matter what. It has to at least clear 960. But ES is weaker than NQ, and they're putting in reversal signals right now. Nice bullpen and break to the upside, though. I mean, you guys have a chance to take profits if you want them. This was good TA. Happy with it. Good trade regardless. That is really annoying that I didn't have my stop loss up, though. That's the first time that's happened in I don't know how long. All right, I can move my stop loss up just a tad more. No major stop loss movement or anything. The rationale is, if we come all the way down to here, no shot it doesn't not only get to where my original stop loss was, but go lower. And it looks like we are putting in a bearish liquidity sweep. which is bearish, so watch for a reversal to the downside. If this candle somehow closes with a buying wick, though, that's going to be a really good sign. Because clearly there's obviously going to be sell orders at these highs, but how we react to those sell orders, like if we react this way, it's going to look like those sell orders that just got triggered may end up squeezing out. That's a bullish reaction. That is bullish on the NASDAQ. Was bullish. We just made higher highs again on NQ and are trying to reject, so this looks like a pretty heavy area of resistance here. That looks like a bullish sweep that just happened on ES. I am concerned though because ES dropped a lot harder than NQ, and NQ did not sweep the low of that previous buying wick. But that comes across as a bullish liquidity sweep. ES is still weaker than NQ, but this NQ candle is looking for pretty nice. Yeah, ES is a lot weaker, guys. I think I may just take the 1-to-1. Sell at 60. I put my order at 960, just the 1-to-1. It's too much weaker than NQ, and NQ's trend looks pretty good right now. I'm starting to really, because of the shorts I stepped in, I'm starting to doubt that NQ is going to be able to get to this level without pulling back first. But if you're an NQ, be my guest. Feel free to hold to this high. It's just really concerning that ES has only moved up this much with NQ. So I sold there. We'll see if it continues. I will mark it down if it does or doesn't. It's a close one. I'm lucky to not stop. It missed my stop loss by what, like one single tick, maybe 2 ticks initially. Looks like NQ's going to get that PT anyways, which is beautiful. There it is. All right. So it looks like I would have made a little bit extra money. I would have sold here right around 61.75, which would have been an extra 6 times 25. All right, so I could have made an extra 150 on it. And to be completely real, during the candle that it started to do that, this candle, I started to kind of regret my decision because this candle really gave it away that NQ was going to get to this PT. This bullish liquidity sweep as well, and the fact that we reacted to this pivot again bullishly. I told you guys, watch for a short squeeze because this looks like a bullish sweep here. And then the way this interacted, I said a lot of the sell orders that got triggered look like they're going to end up getting squeezed out. And it's 100% what happened. 100% what happened. But it looks like, yeah, where's my sell? My sell is actually right here. Yeah, he is stronger now. Looks like we're going for a new high day, folks. That's what it's looking like. Yeah, you know, if I go back and review my trades, which I'm going to, um, I had enough reasons to not move my PT a little bit closer. So if I were to go back in time, I wouldn't have done that. This candle really gave it away, but by the time this candle formed, I already kind of made the decision, and I didn't really want to switch again. But this candle made it obvious that it's going to get there. But type in chat if you guys caught that green trade. What are we, 2 for 2? Stopped out, had to hop back in. Yeah, Noon Attack, that's the unfortunate thing. So NQ was a lot stronger. If I was in NQ, I would have entered pretty much the same place. I would have entered right around here. Instead of making 700 on the trade, I would have made 1,150 on the trade per mini. So I would have made a lot more. However, I would have stopped out for, you know, what is that, a $700 loss? So I was more profitable taking ES and, you know, because I would have 100% stopped out of NQ, would have swept it. Well, I'm bullish for ES New Hive Day. We are printing this morning, guys. This is awesome. This is a very good time. Relico City, worst day in options, but soft max trades and close TOS. Good job, Lopez. You doing that was a massive step in your trading career, dude. That is phenomenal, Lopez. In the psych reinforcement lesson today, hopefully you attend, you'll understand why that is such a big deal. Why what you did is such a big deal. Caught it last trade of the day, finished up around 600 on my 2 PAs. Awesome job, New Attack. Iceland, no anxiety. Good, good. Yep, it's looking good for Hive Day, folks. On ES. Looks very good for New Hive Day. ES just want to flip strong once I'm out, unfortunately. Do I enter one more trade for ES Hive Day? It's probably going to hit. The trend is strong. We have fundamentals backing because I think the ICBM stuff is BS. Yeah, Kiev still claims their ICBMs, but like I don't think the market believes it. Clearly, the market doesn't believe it. And if that thing isn't true, then the whole drop this morning is invalidated. That's why I was so willing and able to play the upside even after today's drop. Because when you have a fundamentally backed, when the market drops because of news or speculation, and that news or speculation is invalidated, the market's going to go right back to where it was because it was invalidated. There's no reason to drop anymore. So. But let's see. NQ is bearishly sweeping that pivot. That was a phenomenal PT for all of you who end up taking that NQ bull pennant. Looks like you guys in the YouTube chat are making money as well. That's awesome. How delayed is YouTube? Let me check. It's about 5 seconds delayed. You guys are on a 5-second delay. And I don't know how to make it any faster because I have it on the fastest settings. 6 seconds? Yeah, it's like 5 or 6 seconds. Which I guess isn't terrible. You guys are still hearing my bias. You guys are still figuring, you guys know that I'm pretty much only entering in the last 10 seconds of each candle. All right, I think if this drop invalidates, I'm willing to take another long. It's invalidating right now. I may take it. Don't take it if you're not willing to lose. If this candle flips green, I'll take it. It's a much smaller trade. Never mind, it's not. It's the same size as the last one. Never mind. So I'm hoping this drop goes deeper. If this drop can go deeper, like to down here, and then come up, that would be great. Beautiful pivot. Look at that price target on NQ. That is beautiful. And now it's turning into a short trade. Uh, it would have to go lower, but this is a solid pivot on NQ because remember, we made a higher low right here. We barely missed it. If it does come down to roughly here, this is a pretty good trade. Especially if it can consolidate or something. That's a freaking short. Guys, that's a bearish candle. Again, don't trade if you guys aren't willing to get back profits, but yeah, that's a bearish oh my gosh, it's bearish. Oh my gosh. That is a bearish candle. I filled it on NQ. I took it. Again, it's really risky. PT's far away. If you're not willing to lose, don't take it. But that candle was just barely bearish enough for me to enter. If that candle was any smaller, I would not have entered. Now, do not follow this trade unless this green candle goes away. Do not take, now of course, non-financial advice, do not take this trade if this green candle does not go away. Because it looks like that could have just been a huge bait. But I doubt it. That was a really bearish candle. Happened right off of a pivot, too. I'd be very surprised if that was just a bait for shorts to hop in. Yeah, that may have been a bait, folks. I may have just got hornswoggled. Yeah, do not get in unless that green candle goes away, unless it invalidates. If that green candle doesn't validate, it's going to look like a pretty decent trade. But after how bearish that candle was, it should have not put in that green candle. That green candle is a huge red flag. Huge red flag. Is this a perfect trend line? Oh my gosh, it is a perfect trend line on ES. Oh, I really hope it doesn't stop me out. Only because I'm probably going to have to end up going long. But that trend line needs to break at some point on ES. That trend line cannot hold. It's very rare that it does. And if I go long, that's going to be a reason for my long to stop out. So I'd much rather go long if that trend line breaks before I go long because I'm not going to have any conflicting analysis. But if I stop out and have to go long, I'm going to have some conflicting analysis still. And then I can start getting stuck in entering a bunch of trades because I can stop out and then I end up going long. And then I stop out again. Boom, it's a head and shoulders, and I go short for this trend line break. And before you know it, you're exposed to potentially taking 3 losses back to back. These are things you need to think about ahead of time and what you're willing to expose yourself to. Of course, you could win those trades, but are you willing to expose yourself to the risk of that happening? The green candle's invalidating. I don't really like how it's invalidating, though. It's barely trickling down right now. There's clearly buyers right here. And it looks like we probably did just bounce off the 61.8 of this new uptrend. Yeah. I probably want to take the trade somewhere down here if I were you guys. Or hope that it bounces higher, which would be bad for me, but hope it bounces higher and then comes down. That would look a lot better. Not nearly as confident in this trade anymore. I don't really know what it wants to do. That was a really damn bearish candle, though. Looks like NQ's stronger than ES. The way this candle's looking looks like it's probably going to stop me out. That might have been a huge bear trap. That trend line is so perfect, though, on ES. That's the problem. Really want that trend line to break. But NQ's stronger than ES, and it's pretty likely that NQ's going to end up stopping me out before ES gets to break it. Yeah, if that red volume just dropped off. That green volume was so high for the size of the candle, and then the red volume just kind of dropped off. That is bullish. That's fairly bullish. The long trade would end up having to be on NQ though, because NQ is stronger than ES. But it looks like it's gonna stop me out. I just don't know if that ES trend line is gonna end up breaking before NQ hits the new high. Because I'm bullish for NQ to hit the new high now, but if I enter longs on NQ, which I'm going to do, I would sell only when ES gets new high of day. Six, what was that? Six, what is that? 625. Yeah, I'm liking NQ longs. Looks like that was a huge bear trap, and if it was, we're gonna continue up a much further way. If that, like, the problem is if it just, like, I'm still bearish for this trend line on ES to break, and like I said, because NQ flipped stronger than ES, if it is gonna break, it's probably gonna stop me out first, so I may actually have to hop back into NQ longs. I mean NQ shorts, but right now it's looking like I'm gonna end up taking longs. Interesting. So ES is stronger than NQ now. Looks like ES is ended up being stronger than NQ. I don't know if it's looking like it may want to come back down, which would be unlucky. It just did enough to get my stop loss. Like, I put my stop loss as far away as I could possibly put it. It's a pretty good ES short trade. The thing is, the PT, but I mean, by the time it hits this first level, NQ is going to be somewhere down here. And then I might as well wait for NQ to get back down. But ES is very close to triggering me back into shorts because it is a fairly fractal head and shoulders at the moment. Well, I took ES shorts. We will see what happens. It's looking like that bounce did just enough to. I. It doesn't look like a bear trap. It looks like that bounce may have been a bull trap, and the direction is possibly supposed to be down because that candle was so large. It was a natural reaction to dip by it. Um, this trade's up a good amount already. Oh my gosh, I guess you could sell here. It's getting a buying wick, but NQ got down enough to where I'm bearish for 688 again. Show you guys where I'm at on this trade. It's getting a buying wick. It could reverse. I didn't close it in time. Looking for at minimum this pivot. But that's a pretty bullish buying wick. I am concerned that NQ does like a falling wedge or something, then goes back up. Oh my gosh. Well, it got through that PT. I'll sell when NQ gets to the. This is my big PT. This was my solid pivot. Man, that sucks. It stopped me out of that trade. That's just unlucky right there. But then again, you know what? I got so lucky today so many times. It's fine if I get unlucky at least once. Now, it would be very unlucky if it misses it again. ES getting a buying wick is concerning here. You can sell if you want. But I mean, this is clearly a bearish liquidity sweep. This looks like a bull trap, which is more longs that can get the stop loss rated. And this is a damn good pivot on NQ. You can see it already missed it once here. That's a bearish candle. Was a bearish candle. Looks like it may go for a bounce now. It can hold the bounce because ES did hit a minor pivot, but I do not think it's likely its bounce holds. So really, my PT's right here, this bottom pivot. That's where I put my hard PT. By the time ES gets there, NQ should be at the pivot. If NQ gets to this pivot before ES gets to this one, I'm market selling it. But you guys could take profits early. It already more than cleared that last loss if you happen to take that loss. It's starting to be a pretty bullish bounce. That's really bullish volume on this green candle, which is concerning. That is very, very bullish volume. I'd be very surprised if that green candle invalidates. If that green candle invalidates, the trade is saved, but that was a fairly large green candle with fairly little volume, which looked like it was pure buyers. Is this a perfect trend line now? I told you guys that trend line needed a break on ES, by the way. Wait, is that? No, not quite perfect on NQ. Still bouncing off of it, though. If NQ does close a doji on this candle, that's fairly bullish. The next candle's probably, unfortunately, going to be green. I'm hoping this candle on NQ finishes with the red body. Because if it does not... no? Okay. It closed with a doji, but not in a very bullish way. It already got up right before the candle closed. If it closed with the doji without this selling wick, I expect this candle to be green. But because it already made that upside move and it retraced that upside move, so it got slammed back down by the end of the candle, that's not too bullish anymore. Still a lot of resistance to go before it gets to this pivot because there's a lot of buyers here. Clearly, like this entire area is just buyers. But that was a pretty damn major pivot we swept, and it got really nice momentum. So I'd be surprised if it doesn't get there. I can't tell if it's about a short squeeze or stop loss rate. It looks like it wants a short squeeze. Those buying wicks, those lower lows of buying wicks were pretty bullish. And it looks like it's reacting that way. It's possible that this pivot was too much to ask. So if you guys sold at this one, that did end up being a perfect sell. Yep, it's looking like a short squeeze in the moment. We'll see how this candle closes and the next candle opens. Nah, that's not very bearish. I will say though, if you guys are not in a trade and somehow this green candle does invalidate, which that's clearly not the trend right now, but if at any point this candle invalidates, that's a pretty strong trade. And you'd have a pretty tight stop loss. Of course, you could get stopped out once in pursuit of this trade, but that would be a pretty strong trade. Let's move this over to the side to see if it would have ended up playing out. Yeah, VWAP is, yeah, you're right, Polito. VWAP on NQ, which is my yellow dotted line for those of you that don't know. VWAP on NQ is badass. I mean, it held this rejection here, which is beautiful. Held all three of these bounces. But again, the more time you test support, the weaker it gets. If it does come back down, which just the fact that VWAP is held for that long, I think it's going to break. I still think this trade has a higher chance to break. But unfortunately, we are now closer to stop loss than PT. And ES did bounce. It looks like ES's bounce was stronger than NQ. So ES is stronger than the NASDAQ. Yeah, it is. Totally. I'm hoping that it won't matter though. Because if NQ gets to my pivot, I'm hoping that it drags ES down enough. All right, so if this candle closes red, that hypothetical NQ short trade that I gave out, I mean, you'd be triggered into it. So let's see if you would have stopped out of that trade or not. Because I definitely consider entering that trade. I probably would. If I wasn't in shorts right now, I'd probably hop into that trade. So let's see what would have happened. First, I got to wait for the candle to get closer to closing. I'll tell you what, I want to enter right now, though, because the candle looks like it's going to drop more, which is going to hurt the risk to reward. Like I said, did end up dropping more. ES is still stronger than NQ, but not by too much. I probably would have just filled on that buying wick, so let's see. Probably would have filled something like right there. Let's see if I would have stopped out. You know, usually chopping down is bullish, but this chopping down is really bizarre. It's extremely steep, and the down legs are huge. So typically when I see something like this and it does actually break to the upside doesn't last and it does something like this. Looks like I would have stopped out of that trade if I end up taking it. I stopped out in a single candle. That's annoying. Didn't quite get there yet, but it's pretty close. It's gonna get there. Did it miss it? I think it did miss it. I'd expect NQ to get a higher high. Yeah, ES already did. ES is still stronger, unfortunately, more reactive to the upside, but it is a bear flag. The problem is, in comparison to the most recent leg was only 5 candles large, or 5 candles long. This consolidation is going on like 8 candles, so that is not good for the bears. Yeah, I don't know if I would have stopped out on this trade or not. It would have been luck of the draw. Like, it would have either missed by a tick or hit exactly. So, yeah, it would be luck of the draw right there. I still think NQ needs a higher high, though. So I'll probably stop out regardless. NQ needs to sweep this level, then come back down. If it does do that, it'll be ready to drop. But of course, if it breaks that level, it could short squeeze and go right back up, which would suck. All right, so there's a higher high. And so far, it's looking rather bullish. And I'm not thinking this selling wick is going to hold on NQ. Look at the volume. This volume is so bullish, guys. I mean, it called out on this candle. The volume was so bullish. And it's obviously playing out. This volume on this candle is very bullish as well. Very good volume. So it looks like I may end up stopping out of this trade. This may be a freaking massive green to red trade, which would be very unfortunate. But like I said, I could have sold at 9:48 my time. I really could have. But I decided to go for the NQPT, which is the first time that in I don't know how many weeks that going for the further PT actually hurt me. But it was the same PT as the last trade, so it's whatever. The thing is though, even if we do go back up, I'm bearish for this trend line to break at some point. But if we do go back up, an okay long trade would be like longs right here to this high. It'd be pretty decent. It's just now you got conflicting analysis because now we have another really solid trend, not perfect, but we have another really solid trend line on NQ, and it didn't miss pivots down here. Looks like ES is actually weaker than NQ, but I don't think it's going to matter much. It looks like NQ just wants to drag it all the way back up. Wouldn't be surprised if NQ ends up going all the way back up to here. So I'm going to hang out on my phone till one of my orders gets hit or gets close dating and just see what happens. That looks pretty good. Kind of wish it hit my PT because this is a short re-entry. If I were not in a short trade already, I would be entering short if this buying wick wasn't here. If that buying wick goes away, I would 100% go in shorts. So let's see if I would have been stopped out again. Again, that buying wick has to go away first. I would not enter on that candle with the way it closed. Hang on, guys. I'm on the phone call. Shit's looking amazing, by the way, guys. Sorry, I'm on the phone. Sorry, I had to take that call. And that is dumb, guys. Look at that. We made a lower low on ES, which looks really good for a bounce. NQ missed my PT again. What a freaking scam. What a freaking scam. The only benefit is that ES is weaker than NQ, but NQ's starting to look good to get to this pivot because ES only has higher lows, so I'm thinking it's at least going to make a higher high. By then, it's going to be too close to my stop to think it's not going to stop out. It's probably going to stop out. But by that point, NQ is going to be up here, which, like I drew, would end up being pretty much a long trade. So I may have got gypped a second time. Let me write this down. And you know what sucks? Like, I didn't even consider selling on this candle because nothing about this candle indicated bearish. You know, the volume wasn't super high. There wasn't a buying wick on it. NQ didn't even make a lower low. It literally got this super bearish candle and then started eating it back up. And you know what? The way this has kind of been eating it back up, I think we may just end up stopping. I think I may just end up stopping out. Is it that your PT was too far away? No, my PT's in a great spot. My PT's based on NQ. My PT is 2688. Very, 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 very likely spot. It's a very low chance, like a solid 5% chance that this candle didn't produce that PT. Like, it's slim to none. It truly is slim to none. Like, me losing this trade is just very, very unlucky. ES is weaker than ES, though. I'm sorry, ES is weaker than NQ, though, but the problem is ES didn't sweep this high. Now, I don't know how many lower highs we're going to do. However, if we do get to my PT and we sweep it and bounce, that is a great long trade, guys. I'm not going to take it, but that would be a great long trade. Yeah, we're getting a buying wick, though. Doesn't look like it's going to drop. That's a pretty bullish buying wick if it holds. That's kind of like what I saw right here, but not quite as bullish because the wick isn't as large. Yep, and the candle opened bullish as well. We'll see. I'd say that candle was a little bit more bullish than bearish, but yeah, it is more bullish than bearish. NQ just made another buying wick with a lower low. NQ looks good for this level. Hopefully I'm wrong. That would be good. But unfortunately, I'm probably not wrong. All right, so I'm far away from stopping out AMPT, so I'm going to hop back on my phone. I won't be in a phone call like I just was, but I'll just be hanging on my phone waiting for something to happen. Actually, I'm just kidding. I'll be right back. Watch my trade for me, guys. That's bullish, folks. Looks like NQ is going to get to my bullish PT, which is here. That's perfect double top on ES, so it should not reverse there. Nothing like a solid 30-minute trade. You gotta love it. It's a pretty good trade, though. You know, it's been green the entire trade. It's gotten so close to PT twice. It's a pretty good trade, regardless of what happens. All right, see you later, Rakai. It's such a fun time. And I wish I could be confident in this trade, but like I feel like I'm just been waiting for this thing to freaking stop out for most of this. All right, yes, should at least make the higher high now. There it is. Bullish for NQ to get to PT. Like I said, it's probably going to stop out. Unfortunately, it was a great trade, great attempt, phenomenal in every single way. But unlucky. I wish I just didn't stop out of this trade because this trade barely nicked my stop loss. NQ missing that PT is bullish. I do not like that it missed it because it's likely to do something like this now. But if it hit it and then put in this sweep, I'm like, okay, maybe it's a bearish sweep and it's gonna have enough juice to get it down. But the fact that it barely missed that pivot, not a very bullish thing. Not a very bullish thing at all. Sorry, not a bearish thing. It's a bullish thing. All right, NQ should be breaking through that PT now. Like I said, it missing that PT is bullish, not bearish. And let's see how hard it breaks through it, because if it breaks through it enough, I'm going to be able to anticipate that NQ is going to get all the way back up here. All right, there it is, breaking it. And yeah, I'm leaning bullish for NQ to get all the way back up here. Oh well. Was a phenomenal trade. If at any point NQ comes back down to here, it's even more likely to hit this pivot. I will not be trading when that happens. I have no idea when it's going to happen, but at some point it probably will. And I will not be trading for it. Let me just document this real quick. But that is done. All right, well, still pretty green day. Finished with 2 losses there, unfortunately. Great trades. My stop loss got sniped right there, and just barely missed my PT twice in a row. Oh well. Like I said, I am bullish for NQ to get up to here, and I'm also bullish for ES to get to high day. Starting to look like a massive cup and handle, but if at any point NQ does get back down to here, it is a phenomenal short trade. One that I am not going to be able to take because I'm done trading. So locking in my gains for the day. And yeah, if you continue trading for some reason, good luck. And I will see you guys after market close for the psychology lesson. Oh, what else do we have today? We have the we actually have a lot of things today. I got to post all stuff to the YouTube channel, or try to. Like, I need to edit it. I got to post the last 2 psychology lessons in the Psych Course Discord channel. And then I got to what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I got to review the trades and do the study session tonight. Did you do a lesson on creating rules? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But all right, I will see you guys later. Good luck if you continue trading. DM me or ping me in chat if you guys need anything. And like I said, if at any point NQ comes back down to here, it is a phenomenal short trade. But all right, I'll see you guys later.